Okay. So we'll begin. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda.
Hey, Dana Kelly, you got it wrong again, Dana Kelly. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda.
Jaya Jaya Chaitanya
Shri Caitanya
Chaitanya
Jaya Nityananda
Yananda
Jaya Dvaita
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda.
Very good, yeah. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda.
Yes. Not difficult? Not difficult for you, I know. Okay, so we're speaking from the Caitanya Caritamrta Madhya Lila, and we heard about Lord Chaitanya traveling from Mayapur. He went to Katwa, took sannyas.
那我们呢，在聆听的是 Caitanya Caritamrta 的中篇逍遥。我们听到的是 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他去到了 Katwa， 并在这个地方呢接受了sannyasi的启迪。
And then from Katwa, Lord Nityananda brought him to Shantipur, the home of Advaita Acharya.
然后从 Katwa 呢 ，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 被请到了 Shantipur Advaita Acharya 的家里。
And there, they had the program for many days. They had kirtan and they had association with Lord Chaitanya as a sannyasi.
然后在这个地方呢，他们一连好几天的进行了 kirtan， 并且呢，他们和成为了 sannyasi 的Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 一起有数日的联谊。
And Lord Chaitanya's mother asked that Lord Chaitanya that if he went and stayed in Vrindavan, it would be very hard for her to get any news about him.
但是 Sri Chaitanya 妈妈的母亲呢，就说如果要是 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他要是住在 Vrindavan 的话，那就很难让他听到关于他儿子的信息了。
So she requested that if he could stay at Jagannath Puri, it would be nice.
所以呢，他就请求他，如果他要是能够住在 Jagannath Puri 的话，那就会很好。
We don't want to stay at Jagannath Puri just now because there's a lot of COVID there. The 400 pujaris have all got the COVID virus there.
那我们现在这会儿呢，可不想再去Jagannath Puri 了，因为这个地方 pujari 有400位 pujari 都感染上了新冠病毒。
Anyway, Lord Chaitanya went to Jagannath Puri and we heard how he visited some temples on the way there.
无论如何呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢，他去到了 Jagannath-puri， 而且我们也听到了，当他在 Jagannath-puri 的时候呢，他如何拜访了在那里的一些庙宇。
He went to, first of all, they went to the Shirakura Gopinath temple and they heard about Madhavendra Puri.
那首先呢，他先去了这个 Shirakura Gopinath 的庙，然后呢，我们也听了关于 Madhavendra Puri 的故事。
And then from there they went to the Shakshi Gopal deity. At that time it was in the town of Cuttack.
那然后呢，我们又听到了关于 Shashi Gopa 的这个神像的这个故事。那当时他是在叫 Kata 的这个城里面。
Now the deity, now Shakshi Gopal deity is moved. It's much nearer to Jagannath Puri now. It's 10 kilometers away from Jagannath Puri.
那现在呢，Shashi Gopa 的这个神像呢，已经被挪到了离Jagannath Puri 庙更近的一个地方。现在呢，离 Jagannath 庙呢，也就差不多是10公里左右的远的地方。
Then we heard how Lord Caitanya, Lord Nityananda broke the sannyasi rod of Lord Caitanya. And then Lord Caitanya was upset and he said, I'm going alone.
然后呢，我们又听到了Sri Nityananda Prabhu 他如何折断了 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的单大棒，然后呢 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢就挺气恼的，所以他就决定自己独自前往了。
So then Lord Chaitanya got to Jagannath Puri before them.
所以呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢就比其他那些奉献者先行来到了 Jagannath-puri。
And then we heard about how Lord Chaitanya met with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and then through the association of Lord Chaitanya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became a Vaishnava.
然后呢，我们又听到了 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 如何见到了Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya。然后呢，通过和 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的联谊呢，使得 Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 他成为了一位 Vaishnava。
Before meeting Lord Chaitanya, he had been a logician, and he was just a big Mayavadi and a speculator, a jnani.
那么在遇到 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 之前呢 ，Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 他只不过是一个逻辑学家，他是一个大学者，他是一个心智推敲者，他是一个 jnani。
But Lord Chaitanya changed his heart and brought him to Krishna.
但是呢 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢转变了他的内心，把他带到了 Krishna 的，就是带向了 Krishna。
So we heard how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Lord Chaitanya, of all the different kinds of devotional service, which one is the most important?
那然后呢，我们就看到 Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 询问主 Chaitanya， 在所有的这些奉爱服务中，哪一种奉爱服务是最重要的？
Right, so we will ask Madhusudan Prabhu, what was the most important devotional service?
所以我们现在呢，向 Madhusudan Prabhu 提出这样一个问题：最重要的奉爱服务是什么
Madhusudan Zaima?
？Madhusudan Prabhu 在不在呀？
Oh, 他不在。
今天没有上线。
Okay, so anybody else can answer. What's the most important?
那请问有没有哪位奉献者可以回答一下最重要的奉爱服务是哪种奉爱服务呢？
做圣名。
Yes, chanting the holy.
唱诵圣名。
Thank you.
谢谢。
So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was always chanting the holy name after
所以
this.
呢 ，Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya， 所以在这之后呢 ，Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 就总是在唱诵圣名。
Then we heard how Lord Chaitanya asked permission to go to South India. He's going to look for his older brother who had taken sannyas before him.
然后呢，我们又听到了 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他如何请求着得到允许，能够去到南印度。那么他希望能够在这个地方呢，去寻找他的先于他接受散雅启迪的兄长。
Must be difficult to be a mother then you have 2 sons, and your sons take sannyas, go away, never come home again.
作为一位母亲，她有2个儿子，但是呢，2个儿子都因为接受了散压启迪而都离开了家，再也不回来了。这样的母亲一定是很难做的，很艰难。
Right. Women want to have children, they get married and they have children, and then what happens? They grow up, they go away and leave the mother.
那母亲呢？这个女子呢，她愿意结婚，结婚之后呢，就要生孩子，然后生出孩子以后怎么样呢？这孩子长大了，长大以后就离开妈妈了。
So, Lord Chaitanya left Jagannath Puri. First they went to Alanath, and then from Alanath they went to Kurmakshetra to see the deity of Kurma there.
所以呢，所以这丹尼玛法布呢，他就先去了阿巴那，然后呢，从阿巴那他又去了Kurma Kshetra， 然后在这个地方呢朝拜了主 Kurma。
Kurma, right? The Haiguya, that turtle incarnation, Kurma.
Yeah.
So
Kurma 是主的海龟的这个形体的化身。
So there, Lord Chaitanya met a Brahmana. The Brahmana brought him to his home and fed him and wanted to leave the home and go with Lord Chaitanya.
然后在 Kurma Kshetra 这个地方呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他就见到了一位婆罗门。那么这位婆罗门呢，把主请到他的家里面，然后之后呢，这位婆罗门呢，他就希望能够跟主一起走，就想离开家了。
The Brahman said, I'm suffering so much in this material life. Please take me with you. Take me out of this material existence.
这位婆罗门说：“我在这个物质世界实在是太痛苦了，我在这个物质存在中实在太痛苦了，求你把我给带走吧，带离这个物质存在吧。”
He had a nice wife and nice children, but he said, I'm suffering. Please save me.
但其实呢，他有贤妻，他有非常好的孩子，但是他却说呢，我实在太痛苦了，求你救救我吧。
So, Lord Chaitanya told him, no. You're not, well, he didn't directly say no, but he told him, he said, wherever you go and whoever you meet, you should tell them about Krishna.
所以 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，就对他说。无论你去到哪里，无论你跟谁讲话，你都必须要把 Krishna 的信息告诉他们。
And in this way, you should become spiritual master, spiritual teacher, and save the people.
然后以这样的方式呢，你应该成为一名灵性导师，因为成为一名灵性的导师，然后以这样的方式去拯救他人。
So Lord Chaitanya gave the instruction to all of us, all of you. That you have to become a spiritual teacher.
所以这样的方式呢，是Chaitanya Mahaprabhu把这个血域给了我们所有的人，就是我们大家都应该成为灵性的老师。
We need many spiritual teachers to deliver the world.
我们需要有很多的灵性导师来拯救这个世界。
Are you all ready?
那大家都已经准备好了吗
You ready to become the teacher and give instruction and guide people?
大家是不是都已经做好了成为老师的准备，然后呢，去指导大家，给大家训示呢？
This is the duty of the devotee.
这是作为一位奉献者的职责所在。
Remember, how do we give blessings to people?
还记得我们如何把祝福给大家吗？
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said to Lord Chaitanya, Namo Narayanaya, that I offer my obeisances to you who are Narayan.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 对 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢 ，Namo Narayana， 我向你致以我的这个前进的顶拜，你是 Narayana。
And what did Lord Chaitanya say?
那当 时主 Chaitanya 妈妈不是怎么回答的呢？
How did Lord Chaitanya bless him?
主 Chaitanya 妈妈不是怎么祝福大家的？
Divya Shakti Maharaji, do you remember? Divya
这位
Shakti.
Shakti 妈的经你还记得吗？ 这位 Shakti 妈的经您在吗？
Who's it? Charumai, Nizaima.
张什么姨妈你在吗？
Shokan, Yoshima Renzai.
哈德克什纳。
啊
我记得第一个词是 Krishna， 最后一个词是 stew。我记得本子上了，我现在在做饭。
Oh.
第一个词是 Krishna， 然后是一个词，然后是 stew。
So what, Shema Isa?
意思是祝你将心意永远专注在 Krishna。
Yeah.
Krishna 字节上。
Right. The word is Krishna Matir Astu. Matir, mind, the mind. Krishna, may your mind be on Krishna.
Krishna Matir Astu Matir 意思呢是心意，就是愿你的心意永远专注于 Krishna 上。
Not Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Matir Astu.
Krishna Matir Astu.
Right? If you hear Jaipataka Maharaj, when Jaipataka Maharaj is on his calls, meeting people, different devotees, they will all come, they will say, give us blessings, and then he will say to them, Krishna Matir Astu.
就如果我们要是听到 Jaipataka Maharaj 他接见别人的话，就每次人们到他的面前的时候，他在别人在请求他得到祝福的时候 ，Jaipataka Maharaj 就会说 Krishna Matir Astu。
This is how Lord Chaitanya would give blessings.
因为这就是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 如何给予祝福的方式。
And all the devotees, all the Vaishnavas following Lord Chaitanya, we give the blessing in the same way.
所有的追随Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 的 Vaishnava 们都是以这样的方式给予祝福。
Okay, so Lord Chaitanya met the Brahmin from Kurma, and then he also met the leper, Vasudeva.
然后呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，就是在 Kumar Kshetra 见到了这位婆罗门的这个过程，然后呢，他也在这个地方见到了得麻风病的 Vasudeva。
And that leper Vasudeva, he was very enlightened Brahmana.
那么这位得麻风病的 Vasudeva 呢，他是一个非常的得到启明的一位婆罗门。
And Lord Chaitanya embraced him and took away all of his disease.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢拥抱了他，从而呢清除了他身上所有的这些疾病。
And rejuvenated him, gave him a very nice, healthy body.
然后呢，使他重新得到了新生，让他重新得到了非常健康的躯体。
So was he happy to get a nice body, rejuvenated?
但是 Vasudeva 他是不是因为得到了这个新生而变得非常的快乐呢？
We know in China they have many places you can go rejuvenate your body.
那我们知道，在中国有很多地方，我们都可以让我们的身体重新得到焕发。
People they all like to rejuvenate themselves, become young and healthy. So the Brahmana, he was not happy. He said, oh no, he said, now I will want to enjoy. Now I've got this nice body, I want to enjoy the material world again.
那在中国呢，有很多人都希望能够让自己的身体重新变得青春，变得这个恢复生机。但是呢，这位婆罗门他当得到了这个新的躯体的时候呢，他就觉得不开心。他说：“哎呀，不行！他如果我要是有了这样的新的躯体的话，我就会变得我想要去享受我这个新的躯体了。”
So what did Lord Chaitanya tell him?
但是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu对他怎么说的呢？
Shejadal, Who's there to
谁
ask?
知道？
I can't see the names. Gurumani, 你在吗？没有。
姑妈，你们
Haribo.
Caitanya Mahaprabhu 说，只要你一直唱诵主的圣名，并且聆听有关奎师那的逍遥时光，向人讲述奎师那的荣耀，你永远不会感到骄傲。奎师那会接受你为奉献者，他是奎师那。
哦，你是谁？
李欣。
哦，李欣那么好啊！你读书啊？你在看书
Yes.
啊
Yes.
啊
Yes. 正在听您讲课。
OK。
Haribo.
Haribo，很好，李欣记得很好，他读书很好。Okay, so then Lord Caitanya left Kurma Kshetra and he came to, first he went to see the Nrsingadev deity there at Visakhapatnam.
那然后呢，主 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢就离开了 Kumakshetra，然后呢他就在 Visakhapatnam 这个地方呢先去朝拜了尼辛哈神像。
So what did he chant when he went to see Lord Nrsingadev?
所以呢，当他看到主尼辛哈 Dev 的时候呢，他是怎么唱诵的呢？
Chanted Shri Nrsinga, Jai Nrsinga, Jai Jai Nrsinga, Praladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Bringa. Right? He chanted the glories of Lord Nrsingadev.
所以呢，他就以这样的方式在唱诵着主尼辛哈 Dev 的荣耀。
And then, after going to see Lord Nrsingadev, then he was coming down, going south, he came to the Godavari River, a holy river.
然后在朝拜了主尼辛哈 Dev 之后呢，他就继续向南行，向下行，来到了Godavari 河，这是一个神圣的河。
Godavari.
Godavari 河。
Right? When we take a bath in the morning, we call all the holy rivers to come in the water.
那么，当我们清晨在沐浴的时候呢，我们会呼唤所有的圣河来到水中。
Ganga cha yamunaye chaiva Godavari sarasatim Narmada sindhu kaveri Jalismin sanadim kuru. Right? Do you chant like that every morning when you take a bath? Dana Kelly does, yeah? No? Right? We try to remember the names of the holy rivers, to bring the holy rivers by meditation. So
所以我们应该努力记住这些圣河的名字，通过冥想。
So Godavari is one of the holy rivers. Ganga cha yamunaye chaiva Godavari, number 3 in the prayer.
然后这个 Godavari 呢是在我们的这个祷文里面的第3条河。
And Lord Caitanya was taking his bath there in the holy river, and then a big procession of people came.
然后Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢就在这条圣河里面沐浴，当时呢就有很多人全都来到这里。
And there was some very important person being carried in a palanquin.
当时呢有很多很重要的人物呢都是被轿子抬着来的。
So when they also came to take their bath, there were many brahmanas, and they were all chanting mantras. And they came and they saw the sannyasi, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's there, and he's taking his bath also.
所以呢，这些都是婆罗门，他们也是来到这里沐浴的，他们也在念诵着这些曼陀罗。但是当他们来到这儿沐浴的时候呢，就看到了这位也在这里沐浴的这位 sannyasi。
So the very important man, the big government officer, he got out of the palanquin. And he saw the sannyasi and he came over and he offered full obeisances to Lord Caitanya.
那当时呢，就有一位政府的高官要员， 他呢也来沐浴了。当他看到Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu的时候呢，他就从他的轿子里面下来之后呢，向Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu致以非常敬意的顶礼。
So this person was Ramananda Roy, and he was in charge of that whole area in South India around Madras and Chennai and the Godavari. He was in charge of all the activities there on behalf of the king.
所以呢，这位人物呢，他就是 Ramananda Roy。那他呢是代表国王在管理着这个地方的这些地区。
So Lord Chaitanya had heard about Ramananda Roy because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had told him that when you go south, you should try to meet this Ramananda Roy because he's a very, very special devotee.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢，他曾经就听到过 Ramananda Roy， 因为 Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 对他说，当你去到南印度的时候呢，你要努力的一定要这个见一下这位 Ramananda Roy， 因为他是一位非常特别的奉献者。
So, Lord Chaitanya was very happy to meet him, and the two of them, they embraced each other. And the Brahmanas there were very surprised.
那所以呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢就非常的开心能够见到 Ramananda Roy， 他们俩人之间呢就相互的拥抱在了一起。当时在场的所有的这些婆罗门们呢，见到这一幕都很惊讶。
Ramananda Roy, although has a very big position in the government, by birth he is from a Sudra family, a working class family.
Ramananda Roy 虽然说身居政府的高官要职，但是呢，他是出生在一个低等的家庭，他是出生在一个工人的 Sudra 家庭。
And they could see that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi, and they know sannyasis are from the Brahmana family, and they're the topmost people in the society.
而他们能看到Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢是一位 sannyasi， 而 sannyasi 呢，他是出生于一位婆罗门的家庭的，他是在这个社会中处于最高的阶层。
But there's a very special relationship between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Roy, because Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, and Ramananda Roy in Krishna Lila, he is the Gopi Vishaka.
但是呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 和 Ramananda Roy 之间呢有非常特别的关系，因为Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢是 Sri Krishna 本人，而在 Sri Krishna 的逍遥时光中呢 ，Ramananda Roy 他是Vishaka Gopi。
So Lord Chaitanya was very happy to meet with Ramananda Roy, and he asked Ramananda Roy that because you have many people with you just now, better you come back in the evening and we will have talks together. But don't come with many people. Don't come with a lot of people. Just come on your own.
那Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu呢，就见到 Ramananda Roy 以后呢，就非常开心。但是他对他说呢，由于现在人太多了，所以你为什么晚上的时候呢再来找我呢？可以这个很好的交谈一番。但是当你来的时候呢，请你不要和很多人来，你就自己独自来就好了。
So the fact is, you see, Ramananda Roy and Lord Chaitanya, they have to discuss very confidential topics. They're going to discuss the highest philosophy of Krishna consciousness.
所以 Ramananda Roy 和 Krishna 之间呢，会探讨非常机密的话题。他们将探讨的是在 Krishna 知觉中最机密的哲学，最高的哲学。
So Lord Chaitanya, he knew that these other people, although they're Brahmanas, they're not really devotees, and they don't have much appreciation for Krishna consciousness.
那么Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 知道所有的这些婆罗门们，他们虽然是婆罗门，但是呢，他们并没有具有这个Krishna 知觉，所以呢，他们实际上是没有办法去真正的欣赏到他们所谈的这个话题的，没有办法理解。
So that night, Ramananda Roy came back and met Lord Chaitanya, And then when they met, Lord Caitanya, he asked questions to Ramananda Roy.
那天晚上呢 ，Ramananda Roy 又来找 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu。他们相见之后呢 ，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 向 Ramananda Roy 提问。
Now that's very unusual because usually when you come to the sannyasi will say, "Okay, do you have any questions? What questions do you have?" And he will answer your questions.
那所以这其实是非常的不同寻常的，因为一般来说，当我们见到sannyasi的时候，sannyasi都会说，你有什么问题啊？然后之后呢，你提出问题之后呢，他就会去回答你的问题。
But here you have Lord Caitanya, and he's asking questions to Ramananda Roy.
但是我们在这里看到的呢，是 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 向 Ramananda Roy 提问。
And the first question he asks him, he says, "Tell me some verse from the scriptures which describe the ultimate goal of life."
那第一个问题呢，就是请你告诉我在经典中所讲述的关于生命的最高的目标。
And so Ramananda Roy immediately quotes a verse, and he has that this is a verse which comes from the Vishnu Purana, and it describes that we should follow Varna and Ashram.
然后呢，Ramananda Roy 他立刻就引述了一个诗节，而这个诗节呢是来自于 Vishnu Purana 的 Vishnu 往事书的。那这个诗节它所描述的是关于 Varna Ashram 的，就是灵性四阶层和社会四阶段体系的信息。
If we follow the Varna Ashram properly, then we satisfy the Supreme Lord.
因为如果我们要是恰当的去追随我们的 Varna Ashram 的体系的话，那我们就会让至尊主感到心满意足。
So we're all, we're all situated in according to some particular varna, occupation, and ashram, spiritual position.
那所以呢，我们每个人呢，其实都是处在一个特定的 varna， 就是处在一个特定的阶段，然后呢，也处在一个ashram， 也处在一个特定的灵性的阶层。
So we're supposed to do these duties for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord.
那所以呢，我们的职责就是应该去为至尊主去服务。
So that Ramananda Roy quoted the verse about this, Varnashrama charapumsa purushena parapumam, like that. But Lord Chaitanya said, no, he said this is external. He said, go further. This is not what I want.
然后呢 ，Ramananda Roy 呢，他就引述了Varna 上的这个诗节，但是呢，主他就说，他说不，这个都是外在的，这并不是我想听到的，你还得再继续多说点儿。
Lord Chaitanya wants to know about pure devotional service.
因为是 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 他想了解的是关于纯粹的奉爱服务的信息。
So yesterday somebody asked the question that Prabhupada wanted to institute Varnashram. He thought that was very important for our society, that we have Varnashram.
那昨天呢，就有奉献者问了一个问题，说Prabhupada呢，他希望我们能够在我们的这个社团中能够建立起 Varna 上的这个体系，因为他觉得这对于我们的发展来说呢是非常重要的。
But that Varnashram helps to bring one to devotional service. It's not devotional service itself, but it helps to bring somebody towards devotional service.
但是呢，这个 Varna 上的体系呢，它自己本身并不是奉爱服务，它是可以帮助某人能够进入到奉爱服务，能够接近奉爱服务。
And I was explaining how people have difficulty to follow strictly devotional service. So Varnashram helps to purify them, to bring them to the platform where they can practice devotional service.
那么我昨天就解释了，就是对于一个人他去信守自己的纯粹的奉爱服务的这个程序，实际上是非常难的。所以说呢，这个 Varna 上的体系呢，就可以帮助这个人得到净化，从而呢使他能够更好的去进行他的奉爱服务的修习。
So, Varnashram is not common in the Kali Yuga. We know people are not inclined to practice Varnashram.
但是呢，在卡利年代呢，这个 Varnashram 的这体系呢，并不是那么实际，因为呢，大家不是那么的容易的去追随 Varnashram 的这个体系了。
Kali Yuga people are too fallen and sinful and uncontrolled in their senses.
因为在卡利年代呢，人们实在是很堕落，而且呢，也很没有办法去控制自己的感官，也很罪恶。
So, next Ramananda Roy said, then we can offer the results of our work for the pleasure of Krishna.
然后 Ramananda Roy 说呢，那我们可以把我们工作的结果献给 Krishna。
Right, and the verse is there in the Bhagavad Gita that all that you do, all that you eat, often all that you offer and give away should be done as an offering to Krishna.
在国家梵歌里面就有这个诗节，就无论你做什么，无论你吃什么，无论你供奉什么，都应该把它作为对 Krishna 的供奉献上。
And Sandini Mama told us yesterday that verses in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 27.
萨蒂尼妈妈昨天告诉我们了，这节诗节呢是在国家梵歌的第9章的第27诗节。
So then Lord Chaitanya said that people may offer things to Krishna, but they still may want to merge with Krishna. They may want to become one with Krishna. It doesn't necessarily mean they want to serve Krishna.
然后这Chaitanya妈妈不说呢，那也许人们可能是想向 Krishna 献上供奉，但是呢，他依然还是在内心中想着想要和 Krishna 合一，想要成为想融入 Krishna。所以说呢，他并不一定是想要真的是为 Krishna 做服务。
Lord Chaitanya wants to know about devotional service, pure devotional service.
因为是Chaitanya妈妈他想了解的是关于奉爱服务的信息，是关于纯粹的奉爱服务的信息。
So he asked Ramananda Roy, go further. Say something
所以呢，
better.
他就让
Give me
所以
something
呢，他就
better.
对 Ramananda Roy 说呢，你还得再接着往前说，你得再给我说一些更好的信息。
So then Ramananda Roy says, what about giving up all our occupational duties? That is also perfection, when we give up all of our duties.
然后 Ramananda Roy 说，那如果我们要是放弃我们所有的职责，那么这样呢就达到了完美，放弃了所有的职责。
You know, initially he was saying, follow Varnashram. Now he's saying, give up Varnashram and just surrender to Krishna. Well, he's not saying surrender. He's not saying surrender to Krishna, but he's saying give up all of our duty.
那他最开始的时候呢，我们说的是要追随，就 Ramananda Roy 他最开始的说呢是要追随 Varnashram， 可是现在他又说呢要放弃 Varnashram， 然后呢把一切都给予 Krishna， 他并没有说是要臣服于 Krishna， 但是呢就是把一切都给 Krishna。
So, of course, this is described in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says about surrender to me, I will free you from all sinful reactions, do not fear. Just give up everything. Sarva dharma parigyashana. Give up all your duties.
但是在国家梵歌里面 ，Krishna 就说了，放弃你一切的职责，你只是归于我，我将保护你，不要害怕。
So people are often eager to give up their duties.
所以人们总是非常渴望着赶紧把自己的职责都给放掉。
People have a duty, they have a family, they want to get away from the family. Oh, it's too much trouble to look after all the family, all the expenses.
那如果他们要是有一个职责，然后呢有这个家庭要去赡养，要去照顾，他们就觉得哎呀，这实在是太麻烦了。然后呢，我实在是这个被我的这个家庭里面的这些账单给弄得焦头烂额，我想把它都给放掉。
Oh, so I'll just surrender to Krishna. I'll just surrender.
是
I'll
这样
give
的，
up
实现不是
everything.
皈依。
Now just give up everything and take shelter of Krishna.
那我呢，只是放弃所有的这一切，然后呢，我只是托庇于 Krishna。
But this is not devotion. This is not the mood of a devotee.
但是这并不是奉爱，这并不是一位奉献者所处在的心绪。
A devotee doesn't just give up their responsibilities like that.
因为奉献者他不会就这样的放弃自己的职责。
We want a devotee accepts responsibility on behalf of Krishna.
因为奉献者呢，他是会代表 Krishna 接受职责。
So Ramananda, Lord Chaitanya asked Ramananda Roy, keep going, say something more.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu就对 Ramananda Roy 说呢，接着说，再多说点儿。
So Ramananda Roy said, devotional service, when it's mixed with knowledge, is the essence of perfection.
然后 Ramananda Roy 说呢，这个奉爱服务当和知识相连接在一起的时候，那么这个就是完美的精髓所在。
So this is another verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna speaks about being qualified for bhakti yoga.
那这是在《博家放歌》里面的另外一个师节，这是 Krishna 在讲述的是，有了资格去进行 Bhakti Yoga 的一个师节。
Verse comes in the 18th chapter, I think it's verse 61 or something.
那这应该是《博家放歌》第18章的第61师节。
Krishna says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. Oh, not 54 it is.
第54师节，18章第54师节。
So Krishna says that one should come to the platform of Brahman, understand that we're not the body, and be a joyful soul.
那 Krishna 就说呢，这人他应该来到 Brahman 的层面，并且了解我们并不是这个躯体，而且呢，应该让自己成为一个非常喜乐的灵魂。
And don't hanker or lament about anything.
不要为任何事情去悲伤或者欲求。
And see everybody equal. See all the living entities equally.
OK， 就是以平等的视域去看待所有的众生。
Then, in that state, you can perform devotional service.
那在这样的这种境界下，你就可以去从事奉爱服务了。
But still, Lord Chaitanya is not satisfied.
但是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu还是没有满意。
He said this is maybe devotional service externally, but doesn't mean internally.
说呢，这也许可能是外在的奉爱服务，但是它并不意味着是在内在也在从事着奉爱服务。
So it's like impersonalism, and that's not what Lord Chaitanya wants.
对呢，这就像是非人格的理念，但是呢，这并不是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu想听到的。
Right, impersonalists and Mayavadis, they are also doing the devotional activities. They're also chanting Hare Krishna, worshipping the deity of Krishna, and reading the Bhagavad Gita.
那么这些非人格主义者以及 Mayavadi 们呢，他们可能也是在从事奉爱服务，他们也会唱诵 Hare Krishna 的圣名，那么他们也会崇拜神像。
But their motive is to become one and to merge with Krishna. Their motive
但
is...
是呢，他们的这个
Go ahead.
但是他的这个动机呢，是希望能够和 Krishna 融而合一。
Yeah, they're not thinking about being a devotee.
所以呢，他内心中并没有想着要成为一名奉献者。
They're thinking about becoming the supreme.
他内心中想的是想要成为至尊。
So Lord Chaitanya asked, go further, keep going.
所以是这参加马法说的，接着说的更多。
So Lord Chaitanya then quotes a verse from the 10th canto. Oh, Ramananda Rai quotes a verse from the 10th canto, spoken by Lord Brahma.
然后呢 ，Ramananda Rai 呢就引述了圣典布扎瓦坛第10篇中的一个诗节。那这诗节呢是由主 Brahma 所说的。
And in that verse, Lord Brahma says that one should stay in whatever position one is in.
那么主 Brahma 在这个诗节里面说呢，就这个人呢，他应该让自己安处在自己所处在的任何一个位置中。
Right? Sometimes people think, I have to change my situation before I can become a devotee. Oh, I have to, I can't be a devotee in this situation. I have to change my position. But Lord Chaitanya said, no, just stay in whatever position you're in.
因为有的时候奉献者就会说呢，哎呀，我现在所处在这种状态，我不能成为一个奉献者，我必须得先把我这处境给改变一下，我才能够成为奉献者。但是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu这里面说呢，不，你就处在自己所处的这个状态就好了。
He said, just hear from self-realized devotees. Hear about Krishna from the self-realized devotees.
他说呢，只是从一位自我觉悟的奉献者那里去聆听关于 Krishna 的信息。
And in this way, if they use their body, mind and words in the service of Krishna, then they can conquer Krishna.
然后呢，以这样的方式，把他的这个心意、躯体和语言都用来服务 Krishna， 那他就能够征服 Krishna。
Although Krishna is never conquered, he becomes conquered by his devotees.
那虽然 Krishna 永远都不会被征服，但是他却会被他的奉献者所征服。
So, when Ramananda Rai quoted this verse, then Lord Chaitanya was very satisfied. He said, this is good. This is devotional service.
所以说呢，当 Ramananda Rai 他引述这个诗节的时候，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 就感到很满意了。他说这才对了，这才是奉爱服务。
So then Lord Chaitanya said, now let us discuss this further.
然后 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，现在让我们来进一步的探讨。
So Ramananda Rai has to explain about the quality of love which a devotee has.
然后呢 ，Ramananda Rai 呢，他就探讨了一位奉献者他所具备的爱的特征。
There's a verse which says that pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness is very rare.
有一个诗节说呢，在 Krishna 知觉中的纯粹的爱是非常罕见的。
To get it, there's a special price which you have to pay.
那你必须要付一个很特别的价格，才能够得到这份爱。
And that price is the very, very intense, very strong greed to get it.
那么这个价格，就是你要付出的这个价格呢，就是你要非常的炽烈的、非常的贪婪的想要得到这份爱。
You know, when we go shopping in the market, we will always say, "Oh, give a penny dian, oh tai gui, oh penny dian kaima." You know, we will ask, make it cheaper. But this, when you want Krishna consciousness, there's no other price.
那么，当我们在市场去买东西的时候呢，我们总是会讨价还价，总是说给我便宜点儿。但是呢，当我们要去购得这 Krishna 知觉的时候，是没有其他的价格可以商量的。
Right. Sometimes in Taiwan, I know they put a sign, they say, "Bu er ja, bu er ja, no other price, no bargaining."
那有的时候在台湾的商店里面呢，就会标出这么一个标识，就说就不讨价还价。
Bu er ja.
不二价， 不二价。
Right. So in Krishna consciousness, it's like that also. No other, only one price, and the price is very, very powerful. You have to have very strong desire to get it.
那所以呢，在 Krishna 知觉中也是这样的，是没有其他的价格的。那么这个价格呢，就是你必须要有非常强烈的愿望，想要去得到它。
That will even cry to get it.
你甚至于会哭泣着想要去得到它。
That I must get Krishna consciousness.
我要它，我必须要得到 Krishna 知觉。
So Lord Chaitanya said, yeah, this is very nice. Now say some more. Keep going. Tell me more.
要去Caitanya马哈布说呢，这也非常的好。但是呢，你得接着说，你得再告诉我更多。
So Ramananda Rai says devotional service is between the master and the servant. One is a master and someone's a servant. This is devotional service.
然后是Ramananda Rai 就说呢，那么这个奉爱服务呢，是在主人和仆人之间所进行的事情。那么其中有仆人有主人，这才是奉爱服务。
We have to give service to Krishna without material desire, and our service must be also constant.
且呢，我们在为 Krishna 做服务的时候呢，是没有任何的物质的欲望的，而且呢，我们对 Krishna 做的服务呢，应该是恒常不断的。
And we should be joyful to serve the Supreme Master.
而且呢，当我们在服务至尊的主的时候呢，我们应该是非常快乐的。
Not that we are reluctant to, I have to do this. No, we should be very happy, very enthusiastic, joyful.
说是我们在做服务的时候呢，是心。
So Ramananda Rai then explains how there are different relationships in our service to Krishna.
然后呢 ，Ramananda Rai 呢，他又开始解释着，在我们对 Krishna 在做服务的时候呢，各种各样不同的关系。
Right? We have, first of all, we have the servant relationship. And in Vrindavan,
首先呢，我们有和那首先呢，在本达文呢有这种仆人的关系。Sorry.
in Vrindavan, we have servants like Raktak and Patrak.
那在本达文呢，我们有 Raktak 和 Patrak。
Patrak.
Patrak.
And in Dwarka, we have Daruka. He's Krishna's chariot driver.
那然后在杜尔卡呢有 Daruka， 那他是 Krishna 的战车御者，他的车夫。
And above the servant relationship, we have the friend relationship.
在仆人的关系之上的这种关系呢，是朋友的关系。
Like the cowherd boys are Krishna's friends.
比如说这些牧牛童们是 Krishna 的朋友。
They play with Krishna. They're, playing games in the forest, and sometimes they take his food, and there's so many pastimes they have together.
然后呢，他们和 Krishna 一起做游戏，在森林里面和 Krishna 一起玩耍。
So these cowherd
抢 Krishna 吃的。
These cowherd boys got the position of being friends.
所以他们在一起呢上演。 那所以说呢，就是这个牧牛童们，他们所处在的位置呢，就是处于 Krishna 的朋友的位置。
And they got that position only by performing pious activities over many lifetimes.
但是呢，他们之所以能够达到这样的位置的原因，就是由于他们经历了很多的生世从事的虔诚的活动而导致的。
So now, then above the friendship rasa, then you have parent rasa.
然后呢，在这个朋友之爱的 rasa 之上呢，是父母之爱的 rasa。
So some devotees, they think of Krishna like their son. Just like Nanda and Yashoda, they see Krishna as their child. Vasudeva and Devaki also.
那有些奉献者呢，就会把 Krishna 当作是他们的孩子那样去对待。比如说像 Nanda Maharaj、像亚收的妈妈，还有像 Vasudeva 和 Devaki， 都是把 Krishna 作为自己的爱儿这样去看待的。
In the Vedic culture, there are different kinds of mothers.
在伟达文化里面呢，有不同种类的母亲。
The cow is a mother.
母牛是其中的一位母亲。
The planet Earth is a mother.
地球星宿是其中的一位母亲。
The wives of the Brahmanas are mothers.
婆罗门的妻子们也都是母亲们。
The wives of the king, the wife of the king, they're also like a mother.
国王的妻子们，她们也都是母亲。
The wife of the guru is also like a mother.
Guru 的妻子也是母亲。
And the nurse, the one who nurses you, you know, they're also like a mother.
有人的乳母、乳妈也是母亲。
So they're different mothers, you see. So Putana, she came disguised like a gopi. So she came to be Krishna's mother. So Krishna took her to the spiritual world to be one of his mothers.
那所以说呢，这个不等，那呢，他就把自己假扮成是一位乳妈的这种形象，然后呢，也就是扮演成了一位母亲的形象。
Is there something wrong with the connection, Dana Kelly?
Yeah. Seems that my connection is a little bit stumble. I think maybe I need to change a different place. I will change to a different place.
You're going to do it now? Okay. Take a break for 5 minutes.
Chang Prabhu，现在能听见我说话吗？能听见我说话吗？能听见吗 ？OK， 没有，刚才好像有点断续，不知道我现在换了一个地方，我现在坐在我的路由器底下，可能应该好一点。
好。顺便告诉大家一下，多注意自己的麦克风，不要随便碰开了，所以打开这些噪音会干扰这个讲课。
Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, Maharaj.
Okay, very good. So Ramananda Rai is talking about the different relationships which one can have in their service with Krishna.
那所以说呢 ，Ramananda Rai 也在向 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 在讲述着在对 Krishna 的服务中的各种各样不同的关系。
That one can serve Krishna simply as a servant, and then one can be a friend of Krishna, and one can be a parent of Krishna.
那一个人呢，他可以就只是作为一个仆人去服务 Krishna， 他也可以作为一个朋友去服务 Krishna， 他也可以作为 Krishna 的父母来服务他。
We see people like Mother Yashoda, that she can have Krishna as her child, and she can feed her breast milk to Krishna.
比如说像亚收的妈妈，她就可以像把 Krishna 作为她的孩子这样去服务他，然后呢可以把他的乳汁喂给 Krishna。
And Nanda Maharaj also has Krishna as his son, and Krishna carries his father's shoes on his head.
那 Nanda Maharaj 呢，把 Krishna 视为他的儿子，然后 Krishna 会把 Nanda Maharaj 的鞋放在自己的头上，递给他的父亲。
So, these are very special positions. Of course, being Krishna's mother and father, not an ordinary, not for just every devotee.
那所以这些都是非常的处于很特殊的地位的奉献者才有可能达到这样的，并不是普通的奉献者就能够成为 Krishna 的父母亲。
Even Putana, although Putana went back to Godhead to be Krishna's mother, but she's not going to be a mother like Mother Yashoda or even like Devaki.
那么虽然说 Putana 她去到了守神的身边，成为了 Krishna 的其中的一位母亲，但是呢，她的这位母亲的这种状态和亚收的妈妈或者是 Devaki 妈妈这样的母亲的状态是不一样的。
Yeah, Putana she'll be at some distance away from Krishna.
那么 Putana 呢，她只是从远距离的可以去服务 Krishna。
Still, we understand devotees like Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, that they're much more, they're even greater than people like Brahma and Shiva, and even the goddess of fortune.
但是呢，我们知道像亚收的妈妈或者像 Nanda Maharaj 这样的奉献者呢，他们要比像是这个主希瓦或者是幸运女神这样的人物要更加的高尚。
So Ramananda Rai was explaining these different relationships, and he could quote verses from the scriptures describing how different devotees serve Krishna in these different relationships.
所以呢 ，Ramananda Rai 呢就这样的向Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 解释着，并且呢，他从经典中引述着各种各样的诗节来解释着奉献者如何在各种各样的不同的关系中服务着 Krishna。
So then he explains how conjugal love for Krishna is the perfection of all relationships.
然后呢，他又解释着如何这种情侣之爱的关系，它是所有的这种关系中最高的完美境界。
Ramananda Rai would quote some verse from the scriptures describing how Lord Krishna would dance with the gopis in the Rasa Lila, and how he would be embracing them with his arms.
然后呢 ，Ramananda Rai 呢又在经典中引述了一些诗节来描述着 Sri Krishna 他如何在 Rasa Lila 中和这些 gopi 们一起跳着舞，并且呢他也会拥抱他们。
So even the goddess of fortune, she never experienced the kind of pleasures which the gopis had in dancing with Krishna.
因为即便是这些幸运女神们，她们也没有办法像 gopi 们那样去得到这样的机会，去和 Krishna 一起跳舞。
So in the mood of conjugal love, there are some very special devotees who enjoy even more intimacy than just the other gopis.
但是呢，就即便是在这情侣之爱的这种状态下呢，一些 其中的一些 gopi 也比其他的另外一些奉献者要更多的去享受和 Krishna 之间这种爱恋的逍遥。
We should also understand that whatever relationship a devotee has, you know, he may be a friend or he may be a servant, maybe, but whatever position they have, they think that's the best.
但是呢，我们应该理解，就是当这个奉献者他和 Krishna 所处在的任何的一种关系的状态，他都应该觉得他所处的这种状态是最好的状态。
Right? Those people who are cowherd boys, they think, oh yeah, cowherd boys, they're the best, much better than the gopis. The gopis, all these women, silly women, what do they know? No, cowherd boy is the best.
那比如说住在牧牛童身份的这些牧牛童们，他们就觉得他们和 Krishna 之间这种关系是最棒的这种关系。然后比如他们就会觉得那些狗痞们都是一些蠢姑娘而已，他们那有什么最好呢？我们才是最好的状态。
Now all of these different relationships have the mode of service to Krishna.
但是所有的这些不同的关系呢，全部都是处于对 Krishna 的服务的心态之中。
Being Krishna's friend and being Krishna's parent and lover, it's all in the mood of service to Krishna.
无论是成为 Krishna 的朋友，还是 Krishna 的父母，还是 Krishna 的爱人，他们全部都是处在对 Krishna 的服务的心绪之中。
And Mother Yashoda chasing Krishna and tying up Krishna, this is for Krishna's pleasure. It's not that Krishna is Krishna actually enjoys this love from Mother Yashoda.
那么，比如说亚收的妈妈，她会追着 Krishna， 然后或者是会把 Krishna 绑起来。那她所有做的这一切呢，都是为了要让 Krishna 享乐其中。Krishna 他其实是非常的享受和亚收的妈妈之间的这种互动的。
And similarly, in Krishna's conjugal loving relationships, sometimes when he will have arguments, or sometimes when the gopis may be angry at Krishna, but this is for Krishna's pleasure. Krishna takes pleasure in seeing the mood of the gopis.
那你比如说呢，这个 Krishna 在和 gopi 们的爱恋之情的这种展现中，有的时候呢，他们之间会吵架。然后呢，这个gopi 们还会和 Krishna 之间进行犟嘴，但是呢，他们所做的这一切呢，全部都是为了要让 Krishna 开心，是让 Krishna 开心的这种心态下去做的这些事儿。
Just like in the Shikshastikam, in the final verse, we hear how the Radharani is saying to Krishna, if my unhappiness makes you happy, then that is my happiness.
那么，比如说，在主的八训规的第8条里面，我们就听到 Srimati Radharani 对主 Krishna 说：“如果要是我的不快让你变得很快乐的话，那么那个也就会让我很开心，那就是我的开心。”
So, this is the perfection of love.
所以这就是爱的完美。
There's no love like this anywhere in the material world. It's only in the spiritual world.
但是在物质世界没有这样的爱的展现，这样的爱只有在灵性世界才会有。
So the qualities increase, right? From, there's a stage called neutrality, shantaras, and then there's a dasharas, servant, and then friendship, and then parenthood, and then conjugal love. So as we come from one to the other, the qualities increase more and more.
那呢，我们就可以看到，在这里面的这个品质，就这种特征，它是逐渐的一层一层的更加加深的。比如最开始呢是中性的 shantaras， 然后呢是 dasaras 是仆人的，之后呢是朋友之间的，然后呢是父母的，然后是情侣的。
So devotees in shantaras are devotees like the 4 Kumaras. And also the 9 yogendras.
在 Shantaras 就是在中性关系中的这个奉献者的代表呢，比如说是4位苦马尔兄弟，还有这9位Rajendra。
Yogendras.
有跟着，9位有跟着。
They're mentioned in the 11th canto, also in the
有跟着
fifth canto.
有跟着们，他们是在圣典博达瓦坛的第11篇以及第5篇中都有提到。
They are the sons of Rishabdev.
他们是 Rishabdev 的儿子们。
Rishabdev had 100 sons.
Rishabdev 有100个儿子。
Of these sons, 9 of them, the 9 Yogendras, they were preaching. They were traveling and preaching.
那么在这100个儿子里面呢，有9位儿子，就这9位有跟着，他们是在进行着传教。
So they're in Shantaras, neutrality.
所以呢，他们是处在 Shantaras， 他们是处在中性的状态的。
Then we said Ratak and Patrak, they're Krishna's servants in Vrindavan.
Radha 和 Patra 他们是 Krishna 在文达文的仆人。
And then Krishna's friends. You've got different kinds of friends. People like Arjuna is Krishna's friend. Uddhava is also Krishna's friend.
然后比如说像 Krishna 的朋友，那 Krishna 他有各种各样不同的朋友，比如说像 Arjuna 是 Krishna 的朋友 ，Uddhava 也是 Krishna 的朋友。
Then you've got the cowherd boys who are very, very intimate friends with Krishna.
那然后呢，我们还有这些牧牛童们，这些牧牛童们呢，都是 Krishna 非常亲密的好朋友们。
People like Subal and Sridham and Sudama.
比如说像 Subal、Sudam 还有 Sridhama， 他们都是 Krishna 的好朋友。
Many cowherd boys.
有很多很多的牧牛童们。
And above the cowherd boys, you have Krishna's parents.
然后在牧牛童之上呢，就是 Krishna 的父母。
Vasudeva and Devaki, Nanda and Yashoda, Putana, Krishna's mother.
比如说像 Vasudeva， 还有 Devaki， 还有亚修的妈妈 Nanda Maharaj， 还有 Putana 也是 Krishna 的母亲。
And then we've got the stage of conjugal love. You've got you've got the goddess of fortune. She's Krishna's wife.
然后呢，就达到了这个情侣之爱的这个层面。那然后有幸运女神，她是 Krishna 的妻子。
And then you've got Krishna's queens in Dwarka.
还有呢，Krishna 在 Dwarka 的这些皇后们。
And then you've got the gopis in Vrindavan.
还有就是在文达文的这些 gopi 们。
So different kinds of conjugal love.
所以说呢，是有不同种类的情侣之爱的展现。
Krishna is not married to the gopis, so that relationship is without marriage.
Krishna 他并没有和这些 gopi 们结婚，所以说和 gopi 们之间的这种关系呢，是在非婚状态下的关系。
But Krishna with the queens in Dwarka, their wives, Krishna's wives.
但是在 Dwarka 的这些皇后们都是 Krishna 的妻子。
And the goddess of fortune, Krishna's consort.
幸运女神也是 Krishna 的伴侣。
So it said that the relationship without marriage is more intense and has more love.
所以呢，在没有婚姻状态下的这种关系呢，就比在婚姻下的这种关系要更加的炽烈，要含有更多的爱。
So Ramananda Roy describes about how different gopis have love for Krishna.
然后 Ramananda Roy 他就解释着 gopi 们的爱对于 Krishna， 对于就是 gopi 们对 Krishna 的爱的不同。
Krishna made a promise. He promised that if somebody serves him, then Krishna would give an equal amount in devotional service.
Krishna 他做出了这样一个承诺，就是如果要是有人服务他的话，那么他呢就会给回馈于同等量的奉爱服务。
But when it came to the gopis, Krishna said, I cannot repay you because you've done so much for me.
但是当 Krishna 面对 Gopi 的时候，他说我没有办法回报你们，因为你们对我做的实在太多了。
So Krishna said, I will have to be in debt to all of you.
所以 Krishna 说呢，我始终对你们保持着亏欠。
Krishna said, as you surrender, I reward you accordingly.
那 Krishna 他说呢，如果你向我皈依，我会给你相应的回应。
But because the gopis surrendered so much, Krishna cannot repay them.
但是由于这些 Gopi 们对他的皈依实在是太多了，所以呢 Krishna 都没有办法回应他们，没有办法回报他们。
Krishna said, even in many lifetimes I cannot repay you.
那 Krishna 说，即便是用很多的生世，我都没有办法回报你们。
Because the gopis, they gave up even the attachment to the family just to serve Krishna.
因为 Gopi 们就是为了服务 Krishna， 甚至放弃了他们对自己家庭的依恋。
So Krishna as he asked the gopis, I cannot repay you, so can you just be satisfied with your service to me?
所以 Krishna 就对 Gopi 们说，因为我没有办法报答你们，所以说呢，你能不能就是因为在为我做这个奉爱服务而感到心满意足呢？
So Lord Caitanya still wants to hear more. He said, this is so wonderful. He said, I'm enjoying every moment of it. He said, can you please keep going?
然后呢，这 Caitanya Mahaprabhu 呢就请 Ramana Roy 讲的更多。他说呢，我对于你所给我讲的每一个片刻，我都非常的乐在其中。你能不能跟我说的更多呢？
And Ramananda Roy says, well, nobody ever asked me to go further than this. He said, this is very unusual.
然后 Ramana Roy 说呢，从来没有人让我讲的比这个要更多了，这是非常的不一般的。
But he said, Radharani's love for Krishna is the topmost.
但是呢，他说 Radharani 对 Krishna 的爱是最崇高的。
There's no devotee who loves Krishna more than Radharani.
没有任何一位奉献者比 Srimati Radharani 更多的爱 Krishna。
And her bathing place, Radhakund, is also very dear to Krishna.
而她的沐浴之地 Radhakund 也非常的被 Krishna 所珍爱。
How do we know this?
我们怎么能知道这一点呢？
Because when Krishna was dancing the Rasa Lila, at one point Krishna disappeared. The gopis went to look for him, and they saw, oh, look, here's Krishna's footprints. But then they saw, oh, there's footprints of another girl there. A gopi was with him.
因为当Sri Krishna 他在和 Gopi 们进行 Rasa 之舞的逍遥的时候呢，他从 Rasa 之舞的舞场消失了，然后 Gopi 们呢就去寻找 Krishna， 然后呢他们就寻找到了 Krishna 的足印。可是当看到 Krishna 足印的时候呢，发现在他足印旁边还有另外一对足印，是一个姑娘和他在一起。
The gopis understood this girl who is with Krishna. She must have served Krishna better than all of us.
那么这些 Gopi 们就知道，和 Krishna 在一起的这位姑娘，她一定是比我们所有的人都更好的服务着 Krishna。
When Krishna was in the Rasa dance, there were many gopis. So Krishna could not give a lot of attention to Radharani.
当 Krishna 在和 Gopi 们进行 Rasa 之舞的逍遥的时候呢，因为有很多的 Gopi 在一起跳舞，所以呢 Krishna 他不能够把他太多的这个注意力给予 Srimati Radharani。
So Krishna gave up the company of all the other gopis to go with Radharani.
所以呢 Sri Krishna 他就放弃了其他的这些 Gopi 们的陪伴，并且和 Srimati Radharani 独自走了。
So we can understand Krishna loves Radharani more than all of us.
那所以这样呢，我们就能够理解 Sri Krishna 他比就是他爱 Srimati Radharani 要胜过爱我们所有的人。
When Srimati Radharani saw that she was with so many other gopis with Krishna, she had to share Krishna with so many other gopis, she was not very happy.
当 Srimati Radharani 他看到他必须要和这么多的 Gopi 一起来分享 Krishna 的时候，他心里头不是很开心。
So she left the rasa dance, and when Krishna saw that Radharani had left, then Krishna went to look for her. Where did she go?
那所以呢，他就离开了 Rasa 之舞。那么当 Krishna 发现 Radharani 离开之后呢，他就去找他去了哪里？
Because Krishna enjoys very much to dance with Radharani.
因为 Krishna 他非常的享受和 Srimati Radharani 一起跳舞。
So he left the rasa dance, he left the company of all the gopis to go to find Radharani.
所以呢 Sri Krishna 他就离开了 Rasa 之舞的舞场，他离开了所有的这些 Gopi 们对他的陪伴，去寻找 Srimati Radharani。
He searched for her. He went looking everywhere along the banks of the Yamuna River, but he could not find her.
所以呢，他就到处去寻找她，他沿着雅穆纳河的河岸去寻找她，可是他怎么也找不到她。
So Krishna kept himself in the very transcendental form, so that he could be with Radharani.
那所以 Krishna 呢，他就让自己保持在一个非常超然的形象之下，这样的方式呢，他就可以和 Srimati Radharani 在一起。
So this is the highest loving relationship. Ramananda Rai and Lord Chaitanya, they would talk about these kind of things and very confidential topics which are not discussed in public.
所以呢，这是最高的爱的形式的展现。那么 Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 和 Ramananda Roy 之间呢，他们在探讨这个非常机密的高深的话题。那么这样的这个话题呢，是不会在大庭广众之下来宣说的。
So when Radharani left the rasa dance out of anger, then Krishna was very worried. He could not see her. He went to look for her.
那所以说，当 Radharani 他由于出于生气而离开了 Rasa 之舞的舞场的时候呢，那 Krishna 就很担心，然后呢 Krishna 就到处去找他。
Without Srimati Radharani there, then rasa dance is not complete. So
因为如果要是没有 Srimati Radharani 在场的这个 Rasa 之舞的话，那么这个 Rasa 之舞是不能够完美的，不能够完整的。
So Krishna, of course, Krishna knows everything. He knows the heart of Radharani, and he knows he could understand her mood.
那因为 Krishna 呢，他是无所不知、无所不晓的，他能够理解 Srimati Radharani 的心意，而且他也了解他的心思。
So even though Krishna had hundreds and thousands of gopis, still he was concerned for Radharani. Where is Radharani?
那所以说呢，虽然Sri Krishna 他有这个成千上万的 Gopi 陪着他，但是他内心依然是很关切 Srimati Radharani 的。他在想 Srimati Radharani 现在去了哪里呢？
So Lord Chaitanya was taking great pleasure to discuss these topics with Ramananda Rai.
所以说呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他就非常的欣喜的、欣慰的、开心的和 Sri Ramananda Rai 探讨的这个话题。
And he says, said, Lord Chaitanya says to Ramananda Rai, it would be very nice if you can explain more about the transcendental features of Krishna and Radharani.
然后是Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，如果你要是能够解释更多的关于 Sri Krishna 和 Srimati Radharani 的超然的特征的话，那将是很美妙的事儿。
Ramananda Roy is very humble. He said, I don't know anything about this. I'm simply making a sound because of your influence.
然后 Ramananda Roy 呢，他是非常的谦卑的。他说呢，我关于这个话题我是什么都不懂的，我现在只不过是在您的影响之下，我是发出一些声音而已。
You make me speak. I don't speak. You make me speak. You speak through me.
是您让我讲出了这些话，我自己根本就什么也不会说，是您通过我讲出了这些话。
I'm just like a parrot. Whatever I've heard from you, I'm repeating.
我只不过就是一个学舌的鹦鹉而已，我从您那儿听到的，我就把它说了出来。
You give me inspiration in the heart, and you make me speak. I don't do it. You're doing it.
您在我的内心中给了我灵感，所以呢，您才让我讲述了这些话。我并没有说什么，是您让我说的。
But Lord Chaitanya said, "Oh no, I'm just a Mayavadi sannyasi. I can't do anything."
但是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu说呢，哎呀，我只不过是一个 Mayavadi 的sannyasi而已，我什么也做不了。
I don't know how to serve your God. I'm just a Mayavadi sannyasi.
我又不知道怎么服务你的主、你的神，我只不过是一个 Mayavadi sannyasi 而已。
I think they said the association of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has enlightened my mind.
他们说呢，和 Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 的联谊使我的心得到了启迪。
I think he's influencing my mind.
我想呢，是他在影响了我的内心。
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said he didn't know anything about Krishna, but he said, Ramananda Rai, he knows everything about Krishna. You have to meet him.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 说呢，我对于 Krishna 的信息是一无所知，但是呢 ，Ramananda Rai 他对于 Krishna 的信息呢却是无所不晓，所以呢，你必须要去见他。
Lord Chaitanya said, he said, I came to hear from you.
那么所以说呢 I came.
Lord Chaitanya said to Ramananda Rai, I came here just simply to hear to hear you.
然后Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 对 Ramananda Rai 说呢，我来这儿就是为了要听你讲的。
Of course, Ramananda Rai is thinking, I'm a householder and you're the sannyasi, but Lord Chaitanya said, no, anybody who knows the science of Krishna, they can become guru.
因为 Ramananda Rai 他就在想，因为我是一位居士，而您呢是一位 sannyasi， 但是Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 说呢，不，他说任何一位了解关于 Krishna 科学的人都可以成为 guru。
Lord Chaitanya wants to encourage Ramananda Rai to speak more and to tell about Radha and Krishna.
所以呢Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢，他就希望能够鼓励 Ramananda Rai 能够讲述的更多，能够告诉我们关于 Radha 和 Krishna 的信息。
Lord Chaitanya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, you should trust me. Don't doubt me. Just don't think I'm a... Lord Chaitanya said, don't think I'm a sannyasi. He said, I'm not a learned sannyasi. I may be sannyasi, but I'm not a learned sannyasi. He said, I want to hear from you. You know this science.
然后Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya 说呢，就是不要就是把就是被我的这个状态给这个欺骗了。那我呢，虽然说是一个 sannyasi， 但其实呢，我并不是一个非常的博学的 sannyasi， 我是来这儿向您学习的。
So Ramananda Rai, he really was a great devotee and he had love of Krishna.
那因为 Ramananda Roy 呢，他真的是一位非常伟大的奉献者，而且对 Krishna 是有爱的。
And he could understand the mind of Krishna.
而且呢，他也能够知道 Krishna 的内心。
But his own mind was becoming a little agitated because he thought, I'm not following the etiquette. Lord Chaitanya is the sannyasi and I'm just a servant. I'm the Sudra.
但是这会儿呢 ，Ramananda Roy 的自己的内心呢就受到了一些打扰，因为他觉得他没有去遵循恰当的礼仪，因为呢，主 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 呢是一位 sannyasi， 而我只不过是一个 Sudra 而已。
And Ramananda Roy said, I'm just like a puppet. You're making me dance. You make me dance.
他说呢，我只不过是一个 Ramananda Roy 说呢，我只不过就是一个木偶，是你让我跳起舞来的。
Just like when Prabhupada went to America, he wrote his poem, and he said in the poem, he said, I'm just like a puppet, now make me dance, make me dance, make me dance.
那么就好像 Prabhupada 在前往美国的途中，他写下的这个诗歌中就写到，我只不过是您手中的一个木偶，所以请您让我跳起舞来，请您让我跳起舞来。
So then Ramananda Roy began to speak about Krishna and describing Krishna, the source of all incarnations, the cause of all causes.
那所以呢 ，Ramananda Roy 就开始讲述关于 Krishna 的话题，讲述 Krishna 的这些化身以及万缘之源，所有的源泉。
There's an unlimited number of Vaikuntha planets, and there are many, many universes in the material world.
然后呢，在这个Vaikuntha的星宿中，在Vaikuntha的星宿中呢，是有无数的星宿的，而且呢，在这个物质世界中呢，也有很多的星宿。
They all rest in Krishna and the transcendental body of Krishna.
那么所有这一切呢，全部都栖息在主 Krishna 的超然的躯体之中。
Krishna's body is full of bliss and knowledge eternally, and he's the son of Nanda Maharaj.
那 Krishna 他的躯体是永恒极乐，并且是充满知识的，而且呢，他是 Nanda Maharaj 的爱儿。
So Krishna is the supreme controller, and he is the origin of everything.
那么 Krishna 他是至尊的控制者，他是一切的源泉。
He's the cause of everything.
他是一切的原因。
And we can worship Krishna by chanting Gayatri Mantra.
那么我们可以通过念诵 Gayatri 曼陀罗而崇拜 Krishna。
So there's a lot of information on these things in the purports in this chapter of the Caitanya Caritamrta.
在 Caitanya Caritamrta 永恒的 Caitanya 经的这一章的要旨里面有很多的细节的信息。
These are very confidential topics, very high philosophy, and it shouldn't be read by people who are not very serious in Krishna consciousness.
那么这些呢都是非常高深的题旨，而且呢也都是非常的机密的话题。如果要是一个没有 Krishna 知觉的人呢，他是不应该去阅读这些信息的。
But Krishna is all attractive to everyone, the male and the female. Even the animals, they're all attracted to Krishna. The cows, they're all attracted.
但是呢 ，Krishna 他对于 Krishna 他是具有全然吸引力的，无论是对于男性还是对于女性，还是对于所有的众生，都是具有全然的吸引力的。
So Krishna left the rasa dance, the gopis became very sad.
那所以说呢 ，Krishna 他就离开了 rasa 之舞的舞场，那这些 gopi 们呢就变得很悲伤。
They were very glad when Krishna came back again. Then Krishna reappeared, and everybody was very happy.
但是呢，当 Krishna 又次在显现的时候，又回到他们中间的时候呢，所有的人都变得快乐起来。
Krishna reappeared, this time in yellow cloth with a flower garland and smiling.
那么这一次呢 ，Krishna 他再次显现的时候呢，穿的是黄色的衣服，戴着花环，而且呢还绽放着笑容。
So everybody try to understand these things.
那所以呢，大家是不是在试着努力，试着了解这些信息？
Very confidential pastimes.
这些是非常的机密的小时光。
That's why Lord Caitanya did not discuss these things with everybody.
那也就是为什么Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu他不会和所有的人去探讨这些信息。
So these topics, these discussions between Lord Caitanya and Ramananda Roy, they're on the highest level of Krishna consciousness.
那所以说呢，Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu和 Ramananda Roy 之间的这种对话呢，是在 Krishna 知觉中的最高的层面的体制了。
Okay, we'll stop. Ask if there's any questions.
Yes, Maharaj. 那我们的讲课呢，先停到这儿，看大家有没有任何的问题。Yes, Maharaj, here a list of questions.
微信直播这边有一个问题，这个竹笛问：顶拜过的的莲花族，我们物质世界的人最大的努力做服务，如果到稳达稳的话，我们能够做怎样的服务呢？那 Radha Muni 那么纯粹的奉献者，他在稳达稳的身份是什么
？Maharaj, you got that?
Yeah.
The devotee asked that we are trying very hard to render devotional service in the material world to go back to the spiritual world. However, after we go back to the spiritual world, what our service there? And also, for the very exalted devotee as Narada Muni, what his identity in the spiritual world?
So, Narada Muni, he's a Vaikuntha man.
Narada Muni 他是一个Vaikuntha的人。
He travels everywhere. We know he's the guru of Dhruva Maharaj, he's the guru of Prahlad Maharaj, he's Brahma's guru. He's got so many disciples.
那Narada Muni 呢，他是会四处旅行，然后我们也知道他是 Dhruva Maharaj、Prahlad Maharaj 以及主 Brahma 的灵性导师。那他有好多好多的门徒。
So his main service is traveling in the material world and preaching.
那所以呢 ，Narada Muni 他最主要的服务呢，就是在物质世界旅行，然后传教。
He doesn't need to stay in the spiritual world.
所以呢 ，Narada Muni 他其实不需要留在灵性世界，待在灵性世界。
But he has another form for the pastimes of Krishna. It's a gopi. There's a form called Naradi. Naradi. She's a gopi. This is a female form of Narada Muni. He becomes a gopi, Naradi, and he can take part in Krishna's pastimes.
但是呢，在 Krishna 的消时光中呢 ，Narada Muni 他有另外一个形象，他是一个 gopi， 他的名字是 Naradi Gopi。那所以呢，他在 Naradi Gopi 的这个 gopi 的身份中呢，他就可以进入到 Krishna 的消时光之中。
But mainly he's a preacher, traveling different places and making arrangements. Also makes arrangements for Krishna's pastimes in different places in the material world.
但是呢，他最主要的这个服务呢，就是在物质世界进行这个旅行传教，而且呢，他还有一个服务呢，是要在这个物质世界为 Krishna 安排，他需要上演的各种各样的消时光。
Yeah, when we read about Lord Krishna taking birth, we hear about Narada Muni goes to Kamsa and he will tell Kamsa, oh, you know, you don't let them trick you, you know, that child's already born who's going to kill you. So Kamsa gets very angry and then he wants to kill all the young children.
就比如说我们听到当主 Krishna 要这个降生的时候，Narada Muni 他来到康萨的面前，并且对康萨说，这个 Devaki 和Vasudeva 的孩子将会杀死你，然后这样呢，就使得这个康萨非常的愤怒，并且呢要杀死他们所有的孩子们。
So Narada Muni helps to accelerate the appearance of Lord Krishna.
所以呢 Narada Muni 他所起的这个作用呢，就是加速了主 Krishna 的显现。
And he goes everywhere chanting the holy name of the Lord. So he's distributing the Maha Mantra.
而且呢，他会去各种各样的地方，并且呢唱诵着圣名，所以呢，他是在派发着圣名 Krishna 的圣名。
It's not that he needs to stay in the spiritual world.
那所以说呢，并不是说他就待在了灵性世界。
He helps to make pure devotees. He helps other people to become pure devotees.
那所以说呢，他呢是需要，就他是要协助其他的人成为纯粹的奉献者。
可以吗？
他前面的疑问是问如果我们在物质世界的人最大努力做服务，如果到稳达稳的话，我们能够做什么样的服务？
Okay.
这是第一个问。
Okay. Well, when we go to Vrindavan, what can we do? Well, we can help to assist in the pastimes of Krishna, just like what do you do in Vrindavan? You serve the deities, cook for the deities. There's cooking service to be done. There's so many cows, there's a lot of milk, you cook the milk, and the milk sweets have to be made. There's a lot of service to be done. Then flowers have to be gathered and make garlands. That's also in service for Krishna. And then kirtan. Krishna also likes kirtan.
然后在回到灵性世界以后呢，在那儿有很多很多的服务，都是和 Krishna 相关的服务。比如说呢，在这个给乳牛挤牛奶，这是一个。然后呢，还有就是要去烹制这个由牛奶做的这个甜品，这些都是有很多的活儿需要干。还有呢，比如说 Kirtan，Krishna 他也喜欢听这个 Kirtan， 还有呢穿花环也是需要的，就是好多活儿都需要干。
Devotees are always needed to do service for the pleasure of Krishna.
因为 Krishna， 因为这个奉献者呢，总是为了要取悦 Krishna 而做服务。
Make nice arrangements for the pastimes of Krishna.
比如说呢，为Krishna 的消时光去做出各种各样的很好的安排。
And devotees also like to speak about the glories of Krishna, just like we go to temple, what do? We have classes, we like to hear about Krishna, and other people like to speak and they enlighten each other about the pastimes of Krishna.
而且呢，奉献者呢也希望去讲述关于 Krishna 的荣耀的这些话题。比如说，我们到庙里面去，我们会做什么呢？我们会去参加一些课程。那么这个课程里面呢，就是奉献者在讲述关于Krishna 的这个荣耀，而我们呢也喜欢去听关于 Krishna 的这个荣耀。
So you have to take pleasure in hearing and chanting. This is devotional service. This is what you do in Vrindavan.
那所以说呢，我们必须要觉得非常开心的去进行聆听和唱诵的这个活动，因为这才是奉爱服务，而且这个呢是在文达文所从事的所有的这些活动。
Now do you understand?
现在你明白了吗？
谢谢顾队。下面一个位叫 True Self， 他问，请问 Guru Radharani 为什么那么爱 Krishna？ 是因为他是 Krishna 的喜乐能量吗？
Why Srimati Radharani love Krishna so much? Is that because she is the Ladini Shakti of Sri Krishna's?
She loves Krishna so much because Krishna is so attractive. He is all attractive. He is the perfect person.
那么他之所以这么爱 Krishna 的原因是由于 Krishna 如此的具有吸引力，他是具有全然吸引力的，他是一个完美的人。
He has all perfect qualities.
那所以说呢，他是具有所有的完美的品质。
Not only is he good looking, he's very strong and he's very intelligent.
他并不仅仅是长得很帅，而且呢，他也很这个威猛。 而且呢，他也很有智慧，
and he's very famous,
他很著名，
and he has a lot of all the wealth,
他具有所有的财富，
and he can be renounced.
而且呢，他也很气绝。
So he has so many wonderful qualities which attract Radharani.
所以呢，他有这么多非常美妙的品质，那么这些美妙的品质呢，就很吸引 Srimati Radharani。
And Radharani is very, very beautiful, and Krishna is attracted by her beauty.
而 Srimati Radharani 呢是非常的美丽的女子，那 Krishna 呢是被她的美丽所吸引。
And when Radharani sees that Krishna is attracted by her beauty, then it gives more pleasure to Radharani.
那么当Srimati Radharani 看到 Krishna 被她的美丽所吸引的时候呢，那么这会儿呢，让 Srimati Radharani 变得更加的喜乐，更加的开心。
And in this way her beauty increases because she's getting so much more pleasure from her relationship with Krishna.
那么因为她在和这个 Krishna 之间的这种关系中得到了这么快乐的滋养，使得她呢就变得更加的漂亮。
And as she becomes more beautiful, Krishna becomes more attracted to her.
那因为她变得越来越美丽的时候呢，就使得 Krishna 就更加的被她所吸引。
And why does Krishna like Radharani so much? Because she's the greatest devotee.
那么为什么 Krishna 这么的爱 Radharani 呢？原因就是因为 Radharani 她是最伟大的奉献者。
She cooks every day for Krishna.
她每天都为 Krishna 烹制大餐。
She got a blessing from Durvasa that everything she cooked would be just like nectar.
那么她和多尔萨穆尼那儿得到了，她从多尔萨穆尼那儿得到了一个祝福，就是Srimati Radharani 她所烹制的任何一道佳肴都会像甘露一样甜美。
So Mother Yashoda is also a good cook, but she thought Radharani's got this blessing that let Radharani come, and Radharani would come every day and she would cook the whole day for Krishna, and Krishna would come home at night and he would eat Radharani's cooking.
那雅各的妈妈呢，她也是一位烹饪高手，但是呢，当她听到了 Srimati Radharani 得到了这样的祝福之后呢，她就说，那让 Srimati Radharani 来为 Sri Krishna 做饭。所以呢 ，Srimati Radharani 呢就一整天都会给 Krishna 做饭。等到晚上 Krishna 放牛回来之后呢，他就可以尝到 Srimati Radharani 为他所烹制的佳肴了。
And also Radharani is also a wonderful dancer, and Krishna likes to dance. And somebody who's a good dancer, they want a good dancing partner. So Radharani was the best dancing partner, and they gave pleasure to each other when they dance.
而 Srimati Radharani 呢，他也非常的会跳舞，他也是一个跳舞高手。那么 Sri Krishna 呢，他也很喜欢跳舞。那么当一个人他喜欢跳舞的时候呢，他就希望有一个和他旗鼓相当的一位舞伴儿。所以说呢 ，Srimati Radharani 和 Krishna 他们俩人一起跳舞的时候，他们彼此之间就会相互激励着他们之间的爱。
So this is why Radharani loves Krishna so much.
所以这就是为什么 Srimati Radharani 如此的爱着 Krishna。
好，谢谢顾人。当然，克里马特姐，你看这个聊天的框里面有3-4个问题。
对对，Marge, the question from Chandra Vilastani Mataji， 顶拜咕噜甜美的莲花族，顶拜奉献者们，请教咕噜，得到 Krishna 这份爱，强烈的愿望是来自哪里的呢？通过什么方法可以随时保持着这份强烈的愿望呢？Please accept my very humble obeisances to your sweet lotus feet. Please accept my very humble obeisances to all the devotees. So my question to you is that obtain the love to Lord Krishna. How to maintain the strong desire to love Krishna, and in which way we can always be maintained in this very strong desire for this love.
Well, how can we maintain the strong desire to love Krishna? We have to regularly hear and chant.
那么通过有规律的聆听和念诵。
Because love of Krishna is in everyone's heart. So the more we hear and chant, the more that love for Krishna will awaken.
因为对 Krishna 的爱呢，是在每一个人的内心之中都有的。那么我们通过更多的聆听和唱诵呢，这份对 Krishna 的爱就能够更多的被唤醒。
But if we give up the hearing and chanting, then our mind will become absorbed in the mundane things. We'll forget about Krishna.
但是如果我们要是放弃了聆听和唱诵的话呢，那我们的内心就会让自己沉醉在这些世俗的事情之中，那么我们就不会有这样的爱了。
So you want to maintain our standard of spiritual practice.
那所以说我们需要做的呢，是让自己保持在我们标准化的灵性的休息之中。
It means every day we have to hear and chant.
也就意味着每天我们都需要聆听以及念诵。
We have to chant the holy name. We heard that's the most important of all devotional activities.
而且呢，我们必须要念诵圣名。我们也听到了，念诵圣名是在所有的奉爱服务活动中最重要的活动。
And we need to hear about Krishna, just like we're hearing just now for this holiday season. We're spending time to hear about Krishna the whole day.
而且呢，我们需要聆听关于 Krishna 的信息，就好像我们现在把我们的整个假期的每一天的一整天时间，全部都在聆听关于 Krishna 的信息这件事情上。
Then the more we hear about Krishna, the more we will want to hear and chant and talk about Krishna.
而且我们越多的聆听和唱诵的时候呢，我们就越多的希望能够聆听和唱诵，以及关于去讲述关于 Krishna 的信息。
We will want to share the glories of Krishna with others.
而且我们就希望能够把Krishna 的荣耀和其他人进行分享。
And we'll think about ways to introduce Krishna to people who never heard of Krishna.
而且我们也会想尽各种各样的办法，把 Krishna 的信息去介绍给那些从来没有听说过 Krishna 的信息的人。
Like this, our devotees always thinking about how to do service for Krishna.
对，就像这样的这种方式呢，奉献者总是在想着我如何能够为 Krishna 做服务呢？
What can I do to satisfy Krishna?
那我能够为让 Krishna 满意做一些什么呢？
We all have the mood to serve. We're always serving. We serve the family. We serve their mother and father. We serve our children. We serve our company. We serve in so many different ways. We're serving.
其实我们每一个人呢，总是处在这种服务的心态下的。我们总是在服务我们的家庭、我们的家人、我们的工作、我们的各种各样的不同的服务的方式在服务着。
Serve the cat and serve the dog.
我们在服务着猫啊，或者狗啊。
Maybe you don't have children. You keep a cat. You keep a dog or something like this to give your love. We need to serve Krishna. We need to have the love for Krishna, the mood to serve Krishna.
那也许可能你没有孩子，但是可能在家里面养了一条狗，或者是养了一只猫，所以呢，你要以这个去服务它们。但是无论如何呢，我们是需要去把我们的爱给 Krishna， 我们要想着如何去服务 Krishna。
So we have to learn to direct that mood of love. We all have that tendency to want to love and to be loved. So give that love to Krishna.
那所以呢，我们就需要去学着如何去就调整这个爱的方向，因为我们每个人都有爱以及被爱的这种倾向，所以呢，我们要学着如何把这个爱以及被爱去给予 Krishna。
When we give love to others, it won't fulfill us, it won't satisfy us the same as when we give our love to Krishna.
因为当我们把我们的爱去给别人的时候，我们所得到的这种满足感和我们把我们的爱给予 Krishna 所得到的那种满足感是不一样的。
One girl, there was this one woman one place where I go preaching, and she's trying to get herself married. So she had met this one man, and so I asked what happened. Are you going to get married to this man? She said, no, I checked the astrology. The astrologer told me this man's going to cheat me.
那我在传教的时候呢，遇到了一位姑娘，这个姑娘呢始终就希望把自己嫁出去，然后呢，她就遇到了一位男子。后来我就问她，我说你是不是要和他结婚呢？后来她说不，她说我后来因为查了这个人的星象，后来这个星象师告诉我呢，这个人他会骗我的。
So the material world is like that. Many women tell me this man cheated me, my husband cheated me, like that.
现在这物质世界就是这样的，有很多说这个人骗了我，我的丈夫骗了我。
But Krishna also cheats. Krishna is the supreme cheat.
但是 Krishna 他也会骗人，因为 Krishna 他是至尊的骗子。
He cheats us so that we will become his full surrendered devotees.
他会骗我们，然后呢，从而让我们成为他完全皈依的奉献者。
Takes away all of our material desires.
然后呢，他会清除掉我们所有的这些物质的欲望。
And he gives us what we really want, what we really need, which is love for Krishna.
那然后呢，他会给予我们真正的想要的东西，我们真正需要的东西，那也就是对 Krishna 的爱。
Okay. Is there any more question?
Yes, there are 3 more.
Okay.
Next one from Brajarani, 顶拜 Guru Day， 感恩翻译和所有的奉献者。有的奉献者说，跟着圣恩帕帕和伟大经典，毁不了灵性世界，只是跟着启迪的灵性导师才能够把我们带回灵性世界。这样理解对吗？只听启迪老师的教导，其他的都可以，不可以听，这样可以吗？灵性导师是把最机密的知识私下给予门徒，不会在讲课时讲，是这样吗？Maharaj, please accept my very humble obeisances and all the devotees. Some devotees said that if we only follow Srila Prabhupada and the Vedic literature, there is no way for us to go back to the spiritual world. However, we should just follow our spiritual initiated, Diksha Guru. Then we can go back to the spiritual world. Is this a right way to understand this?
This is totally... No, I don't want to hear the whole question, bit by bit. This is totally wrong. This is nonsense.
那么这是胡言乱语，这是完全错误的。
The people who have told you all that they're not members of ISKCON, they're not practicing like we practice.
那么告诉您这个信息的人，他并不是来自于 ISKCON， 他并不是像我们这样在休息的状态中。
I don't know why you go and hear from people who talk so many things like this to you.
那我不知道为什么你要去听这些人给你讲的这些话。
You should be careful to hear only from people who are active in ISKCON.
那么你只能够仔细的去听那些在 ISKCON 中很活跃的人对你的讲述。
So in ISKCON, every devotee has to have a very strong relationship with Srila Prabhupada.
那么在 ISKCON 的每一位奉献者都必须和 Srila Prabhupada 有非常的强而有力的关系。
Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of the society, and we all need to cultivate a relationship, a deep, strong relationship with him.
Srila Prabhupada 是我们的社团的创办灵性导师，我们每一个人都必须培养出和 Srila Prabhupada 非常的深刻的坚定的关系。
So, the purpose of initiation, the purpose of accepting an initiation and taking diksha from someone, taking initiation, is to connect to the disciplic succession, and particularly to Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas.
那么从某一个灵性导师那里得到 diksha 启迪的原因，就是为了要和我们的这个使徒传系得到连接。特别是和我们的 Srila Prabhupada 以及和所有的这些 Acharya 们通过这样的启迪得到连接。
Therefore, in every temple of ISKCON, we have Srila Prabhupada, and we do every day Prabhupada Guru Puja.
这就为什么在 ISKCON 的所有的庙里面，我们都有 Srila Prabhupada 的神像。那么每天呢，我们都会为 Srila Prabhupada 做 Guru Puja 的仪式。
So if you go and hear from people who don't follow Srila Prabhupada, then you're hearing all poison, all nonsense, nothing to do with ISKCON.
那么所以说呢，如果你要是去听那些没有去追随 ISKCON 的这个教导的那些人去讲话的这些说辞的话呢，那也就意味着这些对您来说都是毒害您的毒药。
So you should be very careful where you associate and who you hear from.
那么所以说呢，您必须要非常的小心您所联谊的对象以及您所去聆听的这些人的给您的这个信息。
What was the other question?
Yeah, the next question from Chandra Velashani Mataji, 顶拜奉献者们，请教咕噜，每个人跟 Krishna 的关系都是满足完美的，为什么还要分情侣之爱的服务是最高的呢？ Well, my humble obeisances thinks every relationship with the Lord Krishna is fulfilling and perfect. Then why we say that the conjugal love actually is the highest formality in the for the service?
Well, we said every relationship is fulfilling. So the one who is not in conjugal love, he thinks his relationship is the highest.
那么我们刚才说了，就是每一种关系它其实都是令人感到心满意足的。那么没有处在情侣之爱的那些关系，他们认为他们所处的那个关系实际上是最高的关系。
It's just the nature of service that whatever particular service we're doing, we think this is the most important.
那么，所以这只不过是服务的一种所处在的性质而已。那么，我们每一个人所从事的这个服务，我们都觉得我们做的这个服务是最重要的。
It's not that everybody has to be in conjugal love.
并不是说每一个人都需要处在情侣之爱的状态之下。
But Lord Caitanya, he gave importance to the mood of conjugal love, and he declared the gopis to be the best devotees, the topmost devotees.
但是呢，Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu呢，他强调了这个情侣之爱是最高的就是最高的这种关系，而且呢，他也强调了gopi们是最棒的奉献者。
Yeah, he said that their mood of loving to Krishna was so pure and so without desire for their own sense gratification. So that was the highest. It was the highest love.
因为呢，他们说呢，他们对 Krishna 的这个爱呢是非常的纯粹的，而且呢是没有任何的个人动机的。所以说呢，就是他对 Krishna 的这种爱呢是最高的形式的这种爱。
They sacrificed everything for Krishna.
因为他们为 Krishna 牺牲了一切。
They gave up their chastity for Krishna.
他们为了 Krishna 而放弃了自己的贞洁。
They could be rejected by their family members and by the society and the community because they went to serve Krishna.
就是因为他去服务 Krishna， 所以说呢，他有可能会被他的家庭、被他整个这个社会所摒弃。
So Lord Caitanya declared that they are the topmost devotees of Krishna.
那所以说，主Chaitanya Mahaprabhu才会宣称说呢，他们是最崇高的奉献者。
So that mood of conjugal love is considered to be the highest.
那所以说呢，在这样的情侣之爱的心绪之下的这种爱，才会被认为是最崇高的爱。
Because in that mood of conjugal love, all the other modes of service are there.
因为呢，就是在这个情侣之爱的这种心绪下，所有的那些服务的心绪全部都被包含在其中了。
Yeah, the one who is in conjugal love, they're also the servant of Krishna.
那么当人处在这个情侣之爱的这种状态下，他也是 Krishna 的仆人。
And they're also friends with Krishna.
那么他也是 Krishna 的朋友。
And they also have the mood of being like a guardian or a parent of Krishna.
而且呢，他也处在这种心绪，是觉得是 Krishna 的监护者，是 Krishna 的家长。
Sometimes the wives will say, "Oh, my husband's very childish," you know, they have to be like a mother to their husband.
那有的时候妻子就会说：“哎呀，我的丈夫实在是太孩子气了。”她有时候她只觉得她需要像个母亲一样去照顾她的丈夫。
And so the mood of being a parent is also there in the mood of conjugal love.
那么所以说呢，在情侣之爱的这种心绪下，也是包含着作为家长的这种心绪的。
But also they enjoy this very special loving relationship of intimacy, conjugal love.
但是呢，他其实也是在享受着这种非常的崇高的，但是呢又很亲密的情侣之爱的这种快乐。
The example is given just like the different elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. They have different qualities.
那这个例子呢，就好像是我们有不同的这个元素，土、水、火、空气、液态的这些元素，它们都有不同的特征。
Earth has the quality of sound.
那么，比如说土，它的这个特征呢，就是声音。
Air, however, has the quality of sound and the quality of touch.
但是呢，这个空气呢，它除了有声音的特征之外呢，它还有触碰的特征。
And fire has the quality of form and sound and touch.
但是火呢，它除了有这个声音和触碰的特征之外呢，它有一个形体的特征。
Okay. And then also water has the taste.
那然后呢，这个水呢是有滋味的。
And earth has smell.
那然后呢，这个土它是有气味的。
So it's the best of all. You can see that they're like that with the different relationships.
那么，所以呢，你就可以这样的去理解，在不同的，你可以把这种不同的关系这样的方式去理解。
Okay, I have to stop now because it's too late. I have other things to do.
那我今天这讲课呢，就必须要停在这儿了，因为我还有一些其他的事情需要去忙。
So, but if there's a question, you can keep it for next time, and we'll answer it next time.
Okay, Marge, there are 2 more questions.
You keep
那
them.
就后面的这个2个问题呢，Marge 说呢，下次再给大家解答。
Are you coming tomorrow, Danakili?
Yes.
You were funny? Oh, so
Yes.
you keep the questions, we'll answer them tomorrow. Okay, thank you.